And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again for Headliner Showtime. And tonight, you're in for some more great music. Please welcome to the stage the dynamic DeMerle.
2, 1, 2, 3, ha! Everybody clap your hands. Come on, let's have a good time. Oh, you're looking good out there. All right, okay, you win. I'm in love with you. It's all right, it's okay, you win. Oh, baby, what can I do? I'll do anything you say, and it's just gotta be that way. Well, alright, it's okay, you win. What are you waiting for? It's alright, it's okay, you win. Oh, baby, one thing more, anything you say I'll do, just as long as it's me and you. Well, the first thing in the morning, wake me with a kiss. You gotta give up some of that loving, baby. You have made me miss. It's alright, it's okay, you win. I'm in love with you. It's alright, it's okay, you win. Oh, baby, what can I do? I'll do anything you say, and it just gotta be that way. Get it, baby. Oh, get it. You're the girl, all I want from you, all I need from you is just love me like I love you. It won't be hard to do. Well, alright, it's okay, you win. I'm in love with you. It's alright, it's okay now. You win. Oh, baby, what can I do? I'll do anything you say, and it's just gotta be that way. Well, alright, it's okay, you win. I'm in love with you. It's alright, it's okay now. You win. Oh, baby, what can I do? I'll do anything you say, and it's just gotta be that way. Well, alright, it's okay, you win. Yeah. Alright, okay, you win. I'm loving you. Wow! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Wow, I gotta tell you, I love to see faces, you know. It's one thing when you come out for that opening tune and I see black out there, but when I see faces and I feel that energy, I say we're gonna have a party tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We have a great show for you, and we're gonna pay tribute to many of the jazz legends that are a big part of my life and the people that made our music what it is. The first song, by the way, was All Right, Okay, You Win, by the great Count Basie Orchestra. That was the same arrangement that Joe Williams did with Basie all through the 50s and the 60s. But right now, I'd like to tell you a little bit of the story about a guy named Benny. It's a little boy named Benny. And what happened was that a lieutenant went overseas during the war, and he came home and his wife had some very interesting news for him. So I hope you'll enjoy Benny's from Heaven. A long time ago, a second lieutenant named Spears returned to the States after staying overseas 3 years. His wife said, "Welcome home, dear, but since you've been gone, you see, we've been blessed with a darling baby, and a cute little one is he." She held the baby in her arms and said, "Benny is his name." He said, "I've been gone 3 years, darling. Can't you please explain? So I won't seem so dumb. Please tell me where little Benny comes from." And every time he asked, she'd say, "Benny's from heaven." Her face turned red every time she said, "Benny's from heaven." And then he asked the neighbor when they came around, but not one single neighbor could remember Benny come damn sure ain't for me. Get it now. As she'd say, pennies from heaven. Face turned red every time she said, pennies from heaven. And then he asked the neighbor when they came around, but not one single neighbor could remember penny coming down. About a little thing like this, he said, I ordinarily wouldn't bother. But one thing I know about children, I know they've gotta have a father. And when I look at Penny, I can plainly see Penny must be from heaven. He damn sure ain't from me. I've never seen it before. Penny must be from heaven. Man, he's not from me. Yeah. Penny's from heaven. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's the most ridiculous song in my repertoire, ladies and gentlemen. Benny's from heaven. If Benny's from heaven, then God must live next door. Thank you so much. 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the Papa Daddy of jazz music, the godfather of jazz music, is Mr. Louis Armstrong. How many folks remember the great Louis Armstrong? Right? Every note he played and sang went right to your heart. It just makes you feel so good. And I got to tell you, Bonnie and I, as I mentioned in our first show, give out scholarships every year at our jazz festival. And part of our jazz festival is that we go into the schools and work with the children in our area in Florida. And I go into the little schools and we work with kids this high and we tell them about jazz music, about people like Louis Armstrong, Bessie Smith, Ella Fitzgerald, Dizzy Gillespie. But when I get to the Louis Armstrong tune that I'm about to play for you right now, and I do that little thing where it goes, yeah, baby, I know what you're talking about. That's old Louis Armstrong, you know. That's how Pops used to talk, you know. And I do that for the kids, and they all smile, and they laugh, and they have a good time. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pay tribute to one of the greatest, if not the greatest jazz musician ever, Mr. Louis Armstrong, with What a Wonderful World. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, it is now. The colors of the rainbow, they're so pretty in the sky, while they're also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. You know they're really saying now, I love you. I hear babies cry, I'm gonna watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. Lord, I think to myself, yes I do. What a wonderful world. Yes, yes it is now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna think to myself, what a wonderful. Now if Louis Armstrong were here tonight with us, Louis would say this. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Oh man, Louis Armstrong, Bonnie and I visited his home, by the way, in Corona, Queens. If you ever get to New York and can get out there, his home is now a museum, and you take a tour and you go to every room in the house and you touch a little button and you actually hear Louis Armstrong in his own home doing the things he would do in every room. For instance, he goes to the kitchen, he says, "Hey, Billy, can you make me some bacon and eggs this morning? I want some bacon and eggs." It's really a cool tour. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time in our set where we get to introduce you to the great vocalist, my beautiful and talented partner. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Bonnie Eisele. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face. Oh, in the race, yes, it's almost like being in love. All the music in life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. When that girl starts to feel, I would swear I was falling, would swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. Yeah, guys. Like that bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel, when that girl starts to feel, I would swear I was falling, would swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love, almost like being in love. That's our trumpet player. Sergey, did you check out that hot high note he did there at the end? Beautiful. Okay, yes. Speaking of trumpets, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored to be able to sing some wonderful arrangements that Les received personally from his former boss of 12 years, the great Harry James. His next song is one of those swinging arrangements on, of course, a great American classic from the Great American Songbook. You're going to recognize this one. Here is that Oh Black Magic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
That old black magic has sweet in its spell. That old black magic that you do so well. Don't do such fingers up and down. That's fun. The same old round when your eyes be fine. That single that I feel inside. Nail that elevator starts to ride. Down and down I go, round and round I go, like a leaf that's caught in the tide. I can stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name and I'm afraid. You're running round like a open spin, love is spinning on that old magic. Thank you so much. Thank you. It is such an honor to sing those wonderful arrangements that Harry had with him for so many years, and Les played with so many wonderful singers like Helen Forrest, Kitty Callan. Ooh, what a treat. Gives me goosebumps. I just love it. Well, now, talk about goosebumps. You know, if you were at our first show, that Peggy Lee is one of my greatest inspirations. Not only was she a great singer, a great performer, but she was a composer. And this is one of those songs that she composed. And it had a kind of, I would say, an unusual topic. An affliction. Writing a song about an affliction. I'm afflicted. I know Les is. He has been for a long time. Maybe even long before I met him. You know, you never know. I'm sure the band is totally afflicted. It's catching. Many of you are afflicted. If you haven't been, you probably will be at some point in your life. Anatoli's going to get us started on the bass. I invite you to pop your fingers, get in the groove, as I sing this classic from Peggy Lee, titled Fever.